at 9. Tune in every time. We don't do no cap. Report only facts.
The Progress Report.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Cree, aka Questions with Cree, and man, I just had an amazing interview with the Progress Report. If you missed it, you missed out, but don't worry, you can still check it out on YouTube.
What's going on? This your girl Lala Shepherd.
Boss Brit the most lit.
What's up? It's DJ Excel.
This is the Progress Report. We got our first guest in the building. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you guys today?
We're great.
Good. How you doing?
Let them know her name.
Right. No, I thought you was going to introduce yourself. I'm sorry. We got Cree in the building.
Yes.
And it's so funny. We was talking off air. You know, my family, people that know me, that's my nickname. That's what they call me.
Cree.
Spell it different,
Cree,
right?
Cree.
When my mom and my cousins come in town, like, oh, Cree, should get over here. Cree. I'm like, yo.
They humble you real quick.
Right.
They humble you real quick.
Come on now. Instagram, right? But nah, that's funny though. So whenever I hear your name, I just chuckle to myself like, that's funny.
It's a small world.
Yeah.
Literally
facts.
that small.
So, let everybody know what you do. Introduce yourself.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. This is super exciting. My name is Cree, spelled Qri. Question with Cree on social media. I worked in radio. I worked in NBA, WNBA. What's the baseball called? MLB.
Oh, MLB. NBA.
We baseball.
Baseball.
Girl, you the one that worked there. Don't
I'm not like, I work in sports, but I don't really know the sports. I'm like baseball. And now I'm really pivoting in like activists. The activism world. So
okay.
So what were you
That's
doing
me.
in those fields?
So it was like fan interaction and like game hosts. So for the Hawks, I was like hosting the games, like the person on the court, like, all right, make some noise. And then for the Atlanta Dream, it was like kind of the same thing.
Okay.
And then for like the Falcons and the Braves, it was kind of like fan like engagement.
Did you go to school for this?
No.
Like, how do you get this job? Like, where do you go to be like, I want to be
fan engagement.
Honestly, I went to Georgia State.
Oh, dope.
And so there I met the guy that was over the sports at Georgia State, and I interned.
The plug.
And so he actually at the time worked for the Hawks and the Atlanta Dream and the Braves and the Falcons.
Look at that.
And so
Look at that network she got tapped
I told
into.
him like what I wanted to do. Because at first I wanted to work like behind the camera. And he was like, I don't think you're going to like that because you got to hold the camera. And I was like, my nails, I really can't do that for real. The game be like, I'm just play. Right. And so then after that, he was like, well, what about trying this? So then I would like shadow different people and started kind of like interning. And then it kind of just grew into like, she's always around. Let's figure out how we can fit her in. And
She's always here anyway. Let's go ahead and engage her with the fans. That's lit.
What's going on? It's your girl Lala Shepherd.
Boss Brit the most lit.
What's up? It's your girl DJ Excel. And look, we interview some of the biggest artists on the come up.
Hey man, if you ever in Atlanta, y'all make sure y'all hit us up now.
Hey, hit us up today. It's where you need to be, man. A Progress Report. DM us right now.
Let's go.
Did you sway away from that because like you didn't really have a passion in that, or how
No, I
you
did
feel
have a
from that?
passion. It just was like God was like, okay, you did it. That's enough.
Okay. How long was it?
It was about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So I feel like I got a pretty good experience, but yeah.
And then you went to radio.
I was going to say, right, some people might
That
know
was
you from the
actually
radio, too.
simultaneous. So I was doing all that and radio.
And now you're not doing none of it.
Right.
Okay, I was gonna say, so for me,
I'm trying to get it.
Everybody's like,
right.
okay.
Well, I definitely heard about you. Of course, listen to the Dirty Boys, Hat 107.9, Questions with Cree. You know what I mean? So, I always thought that was cool, like dope. They got a female giving her
Finally,
opinion.
after like
I never heard that
gajillion
segment.
years.
What was that segment about? I never personally heard it. What was it
So
about?
kind of like the recap you guys just did.
Oh, okay.
So I would come in really quick, do like a recap of whatever I wanted to talk about, and then at the end I would do like a question of the day.
Okay.
So then I would give someone advice. So people would like either DM me, call in, or send questions to my website. And I would get like,
I need some advice.
to this day I have like hundreds of questions. Right. So let
me ask you a question.
right now, Britt.
All right, so look, I have an issue with rushing into relationships.
Boy,
What advice do you have for me? Because I tell myself every time, like, yo, don't do it, and I do pretty good. Then I might meet somebody, and it's like, I love you, let's get married tomorrow, and you can have a key to my
What's
house.
your sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
I was just about to say, ask her.
I'm an
God.
Aquarius,
Ask her sign.
January 24th to be specific. But what advice you got for me, Creed?
Give us some
'Cause
advice,
I
Creed.
can't keep living like this. I'm in love. I'm in love all over again, and I just said I wasn't gonna be in love.
Jay lost the love of her life and found a new love.
Now wait, now before you say anything, I feel like the best way to get over somebody is to move on.
Me too.
No,
feel me?
No,
No?
that's
Okay.
absolutely wrong.
Okay, go ahead, Creed.
No, you can't move on. I'm a firm believer that you have to work on yourself before you start being with somebody
How long?
else. It's not about how long. That's the problem. You trying to put a time limit
Yeah,
on
I
it.
am.
You can't put a time.
1 month ain't good.
Right. Okay, 1 week. Okay, that should be good. You can't do that because
Okay.
then you haven't healed. You haven't
True.
done the mental work. You haven't cleared your spirit. I'm really big on energy. So you are chasing after a certain type of energy.
I am.
And it's not staying with you because you aren't concrete in your energy. So you have to settle yourself and settle your mind and figure out what it is you want.
You know what? We gotta break up, bitch. I know we just got together.
Yo!
Chris said we gotta.
wrong with
I
I
gotta
didn't say
focus on my
that. I'm just
energy.
saying, but you do need to focus on yourself because
Yeah.
it's not so much as a relationship exchange, it's more of an energy exchange.
That's true.
So when you start valuing yourself enough to not spread your energy and allow people in your space, then you'll make better decisions. You won't rush because it's like, do you deserve my energy? I'm
Right.
amazing.
Right.
I'm amazing. So you have to
Thank
start
you.
thinking of yourself as amazing. And everybody don't deserve that amazingness.
That's
energy.
facts. Thank you. Well, I done got my advice for the day. Progress report. I got my therapy session.
How many people does your advice actually sit with and they actually? Because I don't think she's going to add to the percentage of successful.
I'm gonna go back home and like, yeah, I love you so
I
much.
know.
You're the love of my life.
Brett crazy.
And I got
think it's
concrete. I got
crazy.
concrete energy with you.
No, do not. Don't.
God.
I think it just depends on the person
Okay.
and what they're ready for. I talked a few people out of like taking their life,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
and I still keep in touch with them. This was years
dope.
ago.
That's what's
That's
up.
dope.
I mean, that's good.
And so it's like it just depends on where you are, what you're trying to really do, if you're serious.
I'm serious. Is it hard for you to follow your own advice? Because sometimes I can advise myself, but it's just kind of hard to follow
Feel that too
what I
now.
know is I'm supposed to do.
I think it's
Start
hard for
stuttering.
me to be consistent
Yes.
because it's like, okay, Cree, you can't realistically be giving this advice and then be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I find myself kind of teeter-tottering, I'll stop answering questions because it's like I can't be a hypocrite. So I think it's I do pretty good following my advice, but then when I follow it, it's hard for me to be consistent with everybody else because I'm
Okay.
trying to make sure I'm good over here.
I see what you mean. Yeah, that's why I stopped giving advice. I'm like, hey, don't ask me. I'm
Like,
It's
it's
relationship and love
I'm
advice.
YOLOing it out.
True. Facts. Okay, so let's get back to, Radio One, being on air. And like I said, that's where I was first introduced to you and your brand. But then as of recently, like you said, you've been doing a lot of activism work. And we see that you are doing a boycott as well. So can we get into that?
Yes, I feel like a lot of people think that I'm angry, and I'm not. But just because I feel like you provide a certain experience for someone does not excuse how you ultimately made them feel or treated them.
That's
Meaning
true.
just because you give me or you provided me with this platform to be on the Dirty Boys or to be at Birthday Bash or to be on stage in front of all these people, that does not excuse the fact that this is a black-owned company being ran by white people. That doesn't excuse it at all, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to leave a legacy. Like, I'm trying to be remembered. I'm not trying to just be known. And I feel like in that arena, at the time, I didn't see it. Like, because I started when I was 17. So at 17, you just happy
to be there.
I'm like, I'm so happy to be here. Like, who needs coffee? Who needs food? Like,
Right.
like I was ready to do what I felt like I needed to do to get where I wanted to be. And so I didn't really see it, but there were always little things. So you know how if you're in a relationship or just anything, there'll be little signs.
that you try to ignore.
That's true.
There'll be little signs.
Brits ignoring him right
Shut the hell up.
There'll be little signs, and so there were little signs. They were very minute and very
Like what?
Right.
for instance, we would have meetings, like staff meetings, and this is the entire staff. Well, our general manager, Tim, would never stay for the meetings. Ever.
Oh, shit.
It would always be a, hey guys, thanks so much for coming. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to, he would delegate it to someone else and then leave.
And that's kind of disrespectful.
And I'm like,
Right. Even if you're not gonna
why
talk,
is the
just
boss
sit back.
never in the damn meeting? Like, and even as an intern, I would ask around, like, so does he never stay for the meetings? That doesn't creep anybody else out? Or am I just tripping? Like, no, he never stays. And I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. And then there would be little things where he would tell different employees, you should act like this person. Maybe you'll get farther in life. And I'm like, who are you to tell somebody? God forbid we ask you to go on stage and say something. You would turn red and start sweating and shivering and twiddling your thumbs. So it's like, I don't need you to tell me to do something that you couldn't do. Or you wouldn't even attempt to do. And so then when I was assaulted by a police officer, he literally called me in his office and told me not to say anything.
Yikes.
And at that time, I think I was like 22. If I'm remembering correctly. It was October because we had partnered with A3C, and Lil Wayne was performing, and I was like hosting the concert or whatever, or co-hosting rather, and the concert ended abruptly. Everyone's like rushing like backstage, like it was just a shit show. And I'm all pissed. I'm like, man, I looked cute. I didn't twist my ankle, running. Like I was really upset. So I'm on my way home, and a cop pulls me over, puts me in handcuffs, tases me.
Damn, you got tased.
The whole shebang. I have bruises. It was a whole shebang.
Wow.
It was all over the news, and it made it back to work, of course, because people watch the news. And my boss is like, I don't really think you should say anything.
Are you serious?
And this is a very sensitive subject. Where like, especially on a black radio,
Thank
you.
Questions with Creed.
Yes, and he literally told me, you have other employees, other coworkers that work here. You don't really want to outshine them and what they have going on. You don't want to make them feel bad. And I'm looking like, how would I make them feel bad about something that happened to me that I couldn't control? So I'm looking like, okay. And so then I said, well, you know what? Maybe what if we do something for our listeners? So what if we have like our listeners and some police officers together? I said, because I thought that I knew how to interact with an officer, and I clearly didn't. So, how can we do that? He said, well, that doesn't really affect our target demographic.
The hell?
How don't it?
And I literally was like, okay, well, thank you so much. Have a great day. And after that, everything changed. Like, I started seeing it for what it actually was. That I worked for a company and they never acknowledged Juneteenth. That I worked for a company and the employees were going bankrupt. That I worked for a company and the employees were sleeping on the floor.
No
I
way.
worked for this is the number one station.
You don't be paying shit.
This is the number. They don't pay their bottom employees.
Got you. Okay.
So that was the problem. There's no reason why Hot is bringing in $50,000 a day.
That's crazy.
And then when birthday crash come around, we bringing in
That should be big.
money. And you mean to tell me that you're the only one that's getting a bonus? You're the only one that's getting paid? And you didn't touch the stage once?
Didn't even say in the meeting.
You didn't even stay in the meeting?
Yeah, that's
Well,
crazy.
no.
You said something that's important that I think sometimes it's sad because we're just happy to be.
In the place.
Yeah.
And so we like, you know what, I'm going to just mind my business because I'm happy to be here. Who am I to speak
Disrupt
on
the
this?
peace.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't about to fuck this opportunity up.
Yeah.
And we settle for shit, So after all that, do you work there now?
No.
Okay, so how did you transition or like be okay with
You could probably put it right there.
be okay with stepping away?
Right. Nah, that's facts because that can be a scary, shit. Trying to, move on and do other things.
I think that's why it took me so long to say something.
Nah, for sure. You
Because
keep fighting with
this
yourself.
happened in when he told me that, this was 2018. So I worked to 2019 and 2020 came around, panoramic, and
Panoramics too.
I literally sent in my letter of resignation in January of this year.
Got you.
And I was just like, look, this is it was started. I couldn't sleep And I started having anxiety, and I like didn't have an appetite. I'm like, why am I tripping so hard? Like, what is going on? And I just felt all of that I had been holding on to for so long. And I'm like, I have to like get this out. Like, I don't know what else to do, but I know that it's not right. And I know that if somebody don't say something, it's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm not saying don't listen to the station ever again. I'm saying don't listen to it until there is someone that's qualified in that position. Because a black man is perfectly qualified to be the general manager over the black station, the top black station in one of the top black cities. There's no reason why it's ran by a white man. I don't care what nobody's saying. That's not me being racist. That's not me being prejudiced. All of that, whatever. He should not have the job.
That is kind of crazy when you think like. But then a
It's
lot
so
of white men
common, though.
run record labels.
That's
They
right.
do.
It's so common.
So that kind of, you're taking on a scary task. It seems like
Oh, no,
I'm going against.
Yes, trust me, I know.
So like, how's that going? What's the feedback you're getting? I seen you released a whole poem to his wife.
That was dope
Yeah.
too. That was dope.
You like to his wife?
Yeah, like you really.
The feedback is it's
They calling you mad, bitter.
a little bit of both. So you have the people that are like, thank you. Like a woman called me crying. It was like, I've been feeling this way for over 20 years.
Over 20 years.
And another woman was like, you know what, Cree, thank you, because I worked there for 13 years and I never got a raise.
Wow.
And I got a bonus of $60.
What the fuck is that?
Don't just treat me to
Not
dinner.
gas money.
So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So, and she worked in the finance department, so she knew how much
she
money
know
was
they
coming
bringing in that bag. Yeah.
Fucked up.
So it's stuff like that where you have employees from different markets calling you. I was threatened to get released because of my hair color, but there was another white woman with hair color.
Say nothing to
They
her.
didn't say anything to her. She actually got promoted. So that's what I'm saying. And it's like, look, there's just no reason for the target demographic to be exploited and then not compensated. It's one thing to exploit me and pay me, but to exploit
I'll
me,
be quiet.
Right? I'll be quiet if you don't think you gonna pay me.
I know
But
you ain't even paying me.
you're not even paying me to be quiet.
That's
Like-
crazy. Has anyone from the station shown you any support?
A lot of people.
Okay.
A lot of people from Atlanta. Silently, of course. A lot of people from
I was about to say publicly or
markets.
silent.
Oh no,
'Cause
it's
it hits
all
different.
been, everything has been silent.
Yeah, but you know, like even with anybody, like even women that come out a couple years later or a lot of years later that they've been treated wrong, it's usually followed by other people that are afraid to voice but are happy that you spoke up, and it takes a lot to be that
the front
person.
line.
Yeah,
Facts.
for sure. But it's something about how you really feel inside. Can you live with how you're dealing with stuff? Because like we said, that's a great opportunity, but then you start feeling anxiety and everything. Like at that point, you couldn't even live normally because of what you
Because
was
it was
through.
like eating away.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, Cree, you gonna keep playing this game? Are you gonna keep playing this game? Because it's not gonna go anywhere.
So what's your, when you left there, what was your plan? Because that's scary.
Honestly, I went on a fast for like 3 months, 2 or 3 months, I can't remember. But I did like nothing. I only drank water. I woke up at like
3
4
months? Just water?
It's
You
just
that nigga, boy.
I'm saying
You gotta guess her sign too. Don't say anything.
Clearly a water sign because you're drinking water for 9 days, girl. You gotta be a
like,
Pisces.
You know what I'm saying? I only drank water. I woke up at 4:30. I went to the gym twice a day. I would work out to like sermons. I wouldn't listen to music. I wouldn't cuss. I didn't eat sugar. I didn't drink. I didn't like, when I say I cut out everything, I cut out people, like, and I was seeking what I needed to take away from my life. So I took away all of my immediate distractions, and I was like, okay, how can I figure out what else is distracting?
Something about
what
no
she
sex.
said.
Something
You
about
got-
no sex for 90 days. I'm like, yo, you fucking no
I
water.
mean, when
No,
you
good.
trying
Good
to
job
figure
to you,
something
though.
out, you just
Yeah.
gotta just.
Nah, shout out to you. I need to be that discipline right there because that shit give me anxiety just thinking about it.
No, it was very
But
hard.
how'd you feel at the end
It was
of
very
it?
hard. I felt relieved because I got the clarity that I needed. And it was like, okay, I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do? But then I realized, you know what? It's not my place to worry. It's just my place to do and trust whatever God has for me is going to be for me. Absolutely. And he's going to protect me, and I'm just have to figure it out from there. So
is that when you stepped into the role of being an activist at that point?
It had kind of been before.
Okay.
So when like the whole George Floyd thing happened, I just felt inclined to kind of go and see. And then when the whole Rayshard Brooks happened, which was the incident at the Wendy's, I grew up off of University. So that hit kind of differently because I used to go eat at that Wendy's and be there frequently. And, you know.
No more.
Right.
That shit gone.
Right. And when it was on fire, I was there too.
Wow.
So it was just like I was in like a woo. Then at the time I was still at the station, they weren't saying anything.
Really? About the situation.
And I was like, what the fuck? Is no one gonna say anything? Then when Juneteenth came around, the station didn't say anything about Juneteenth. They didn't commemorate. They didn't, nothing. Radio silent, like dead air. And I was like, I have to go on a fast because there's no way that I am out here doing this and then working for a company that is.
Yeah, I think it's kind of
complete opposite.
To cater to that community and on the news, on everything, you know, and everything that was going on at that time was like George Floyd and all that.
There was so much.
Yeah, it was
they had ample amount of opportunity to ride the wave. Everybody was riding the wave.
Yeah.
Everybody was riding the wave just to say that Black Lives Matter. You mean to tell me the one company that's supposed to say Black Lives Matter doesn't say anything?
That's crazy.
So I was battling with that, and I'm like, I feel like I'm going crazy. And I was. I was definitely going crazy.
Yeah, man, but that's commendable though that you
Very
know,
commendable.
on the front line and you know, to your point, you know, sometimes it take that trickle effect for one person to kind of say like, I experienced this, you know, well, me too, you know what I'm saying? So
and I didn't know so many people did. So when I'm getting all these different DMs and people calling me and texting me, I'm like, so all of us was feeling like shit and wasn't nobody gonna say shit?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So all of us, over 65 people have reached out to me.
People not trying to lose. That's the thing. Like, should I say?
They be afraid,
like,
man.
Yeah, like, am I trying to lose my
family?
job?
Yeah.
It'd be a lot.
And maybe that's because I'm like, I don't have kids. I'm like, I don't really have anything to lose.
Right.
I think people settle in
Right
the
now.
workplace a lot of places, even, you know, outside radio, just because of
that security.
True.
But there's no security though.
Yeah, because there's something
I'm like, there's no security. When you think about it in retrospect,
like
somebody that's close with me, he messaged me as soon as when I started talking about it, he was like, Creed, you're committing career suicide. Don't do that. Take that down.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I'd rather
always
die.
the niggas too trying to tell the lady to shut up.
No, I understand that, but my thing is, and my mom was like, Creed, I want you to be careful. I don't want you to burn bridges. And I was like, well, Mom, what's the bridges when we can't even cross them? I'd rather die slow than die 50 years working for the same company that's not giving me a raise. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm living check to check.
Yeah.
Can't pay my child support, filing for bankruptcy, going through all of this bullshit, trying to get to a place that I'll never be because I think that you'll one day accept me and like me. I'm not doing that shit. I don't have to do that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like people don't realize they don't have to be victimized and oppressed and mistreated. You don't have to ride to die. Like, you don't have to die to get on the ride. You just don't have to do that.
Yeah.
That's right.
What would be your advice to like another young lady that wanted to get into like journalism and the entertainment or maybe sports field? Young lady,
like, don't do
it. From your perspective now, like,
No, because
some advice.
I feel like some women have definitely been like, I've kind of deterred them from it, and I don't want it to be a deterrent. I just want people to understand that it's okay to be cool and conscious.
Absolutely.
Like, it's okay to be courtside at the game and still speak up for yourself. It's okay to still act like a lady and be a woman and still have something up here. Like, you don't have to play into the role of being an entertainer. Because if you start that, they're going to expect you to continue down that road, and you're never going to be able to get out of being a puppet. You're never going to be able to do it. So if you are, trying to get into that role, go in it knowing who you are. Go in it not being afraid to speak up for yourself and knowing that if they can't handle it, then that's their loss.
Thanks.
Ultimately, that's their loss. Because trust me, the meetings that I've been hearing about that they've been having about me,
they tight.
But that must mean you powerful.
I mean, sponsors have dropped out of Birthday Bash.
Okay.
Wow.
tight.
So we making progress.
I mean, yes.
Keyword.
Respect.
Keyword.
Hey.
Keyword.
Respect.
So it's like, yes, it's
Respect.
they tight, and when you don't have control over somebody, you don't know what to do.
They're different too.
They had a
yeah.
meeting yesterday.
They at your crib like, what the fuck?
They're trying to, I got people from the owner, Kathy Hughes. Her direct contacts are trying to contact me, and I'm like, I don't have nothing to say, because I made my demands, and it's either you meet them or
What's your
she.
demands?
That's
What's your demands?
it. Tim, he doesn't need to have that job anymore. I wanted to start with him. He's a white man over a black radio station in a black city. That shouldn't be. You know how many people know music in the city of Atlanta that could easily do his job?
Facts.
That could sympathize and empathize with what we go through on an everyday basis? No, there's no way he should have that job. And then after Atlanta, we gonna work on these other markets. But it need to start with Atlanta first, because Atlanta is the biggest market in the company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Atlanta is carrying the entire company, and there's no reason why the employees are fucking sleeping on the floor.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Woo.
It's absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
No.
Brie, let's guess your sign.
Well, at least well, I mean, 90 days of just water. I'm gonna say Pisces. You know, gotta be a fish.
We get
I
two
give
tries.
you water signs because I drank water for 90
No, I'm being an
days.
asshole. I'm being an asshole. All right, so she's
We
very
get two
strong-minded,
tries. We get two
All right, she
tries.
said Pisces.
fearless.
Go ahead.
Scorpio.
No, I'm not going Pisces.
A Scorpio?
I'm gonna say Sagittarius.
A Sagittarius?
What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
Aquarius.
No, it's my turn.
You already had your two guesses.
Hey.
You're right.
All right, fuck it, H. Leo.
Yeah.
Hey!
Don't say that. Don't
Nah.
When
When in doubt, Leo it out. Cause you been on the road,
No,
hey.
this is big for us because we got maybe 3 or 4.
You did not get that right.
She did get it right. She did get it
I really
right.
am a
She
Leo.
got
though.
from him.
No, I looked at him.
Little
because-
teamwork never hurt nobody.
It gotta be
Little
Leo.
teamwork never hurt nobody.
But look, this is like our 3rd or 4th guest out of a whole bunch. So that means a lot to us. That we-
Out of a whole bunch, not for real. We never get this right.
But nah, you definitely got Leo energy, leadership qualities, you know.
After y'all said everything wrong. Now
Right. Like I done went down the entire horoscope.
See, now we got it right though, dang it. But nah, that's, you know, it's very commendable again. You know what I mean? We respect what you're doing, you know.
Absolutely.
So just
And-
keep it up. You get our support.
And with social media and YouTube, all that, like radio isn't the only platform.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Or, you know, FM radio, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So what are you going, like, what's your next goal?
I'm
To
trying
ruin everything.
Oh my God, shut it up.
No, somebody actually was like, you know what, Cree, you could just really be the person that just call out everybody and just
Good.
start
Oh,
just
you
start
definitely
fucking up
could.
shit, because I was calling out the mayor.
Keisha.
Yeah, I'm
Damn.
like, so because
Because
Keisha is a Delta and I'm a Delta.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, look, you misrepresenting the organization. Like, you're not doing what you need to be doing. You ran off of fixing the potholes, and I'm from Atlanta, and ain't no potholes been fixed. Like, that's so simple.
That's
Like,
simple
that's so
shit.
simple. That's some simple ass shit.
Nah,
like,
for
don't
real.
try.
That's bare
I
minimum.
just get sick of being tried.
Yeah.
And so it's like, they was like, Cree, you could just be the motherfucker that call out everybody.
You could.
And I was like, you know, that comes with a lot. I'm gonna need security. I'm gonna need a, you know.
gotta be careful.
You gonna
gotta
say
be-
gun range a
the
few
energy,
times.
like, just the energy you put out. Not saying you're putting out bad energy, but just like when it comes to petty stuff, not like when you call out everybody. That comes with a certain energy.
Yeah.
But the stuff you talking about is like, it sounds like you're willing to take that risk because
And
it's
you know what
serious.
you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That
I,
helps.
These potholes, damn it.
it's like you ran on it. I could see if you didn't mention this when you were campaigning, but you ran on, I'm gonna fix the pothole.
And all of us wanted them damn potholes.
And literally,
It was on a billboard like, I'm gonna fix the potholes.
like, yo,
Like, you ain't fixing not
real?
one. No, I'm hyping. I'm hyping.
no. She being funny, but still, she might as well have said that. And it's like, bro, it's been 4 years,
I'm gone. Fix the potholes.
and she about to leave.
I'm gone.
And
Now I'm
leave us
about to
with the
leave.
potholes. Like, but I
Now it's
promise
like I'ma
you,
head out.
I would see her at listening parties. I would see her at basketball games. I would see her, not saying the mayor don't need to be in them places, but yo, sis, We got enough influencers that's not being influential.
Yeah.
We need a mayor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we need some leadership.
Keisha
because
said, "I'm a dirty
Atlanta
peach. I'm outside."
Atlanta is down the damn tubes right now.
Yeah.
Respect. Well, like we said, man, the progress prayer, we are
We
definitely
mutual.
supporting.
We mutual, y'all. And all this. You know how they put a disclaimer before the person come with like their views
Do not affect.
Say no.
Yo, that's funny. So Creed, what does the word progress mean to you? That's the question that we ask all our guests, and you are definitely progressive. So what does the word progress mean to you?
I'm trying to get out of that habit.
I'm gonna say you ain't told us you could sing now.
No.
Oh,
no. I probably called a tune. But, progress definitely means realizing your worth and not being afraid to step into what you think you're worth and what you know you're worth. So yeah, because I feel like knowing your worth is progressional. We are born here and we're raised with kind of knowing our worth, but it's not till we really hit like 21, 22 where we start progressing into our worth and then knowing it and walking in it and living in it and, you know, manifesting through it. Like, so definitely knowing your worth, because before I knew my worth, I was settling for complacency.
Nah, we definitely respect it.
Oh yeah.
All right. With that being said, the progress report is my last show. I know my worth, and
I
want a fucking bonus, bitch.
No,
Bye, Lala.
to break up with that girl, whoever you with.
All right, and
Yo, Brittany's is such a dick. Well, no, Cree, we definitely appreciate your time. Thank you so much for enlightening us. Absolutely.
I gotta be the friend to be there through all of this shit. But.
Anyways, this is the Progress Report. We out.
Bye.
All right. What's going on? It's your girl, Lala Shepherd.
Boss Britt the most lit.
What's up? It's your girl DJ Excel. And look, we interview some of the biggest artists on the come up.
Hey, man, if you ever in Atlanta, y'all make sure y'all hit us up now.
Hey, hit us up today. It's where you need to be, man. A progress report. DM us right now.
Let's go.
Wednesday at 9. Tune in every time. We don't do no cap. Report only facts. Progress report. We got the news, new interviews. We got the stats.